Okay, so one big trend that I noticed in recent times is YouTube automation. In simplest terms, YouTube automation is the practice of hiring a team of content creators ranging from editors, commentators, thumbnail designers, and even channel managers to make viral content in specific niches with the sole purpose of making money, not to develop a fan base or fame or a community. These are channels such as Watch Mojo and Looper that you may have seen, and these are referred to as cash cow YouTube channels. However, when people start their journey in YouTube automation, they are often not willing to wait months before getting their first penny, and often end up reconsidering their investment. In today's video, we'll be doing an in-depth analysis on the world of YouTube automation, and once and for all, answering the question, is YouTube automation a scam? No, YouTube automation is not a scam and is completely in the realm of possibility for anyone to get started and succeed in. However, the way YouTube automation is presented and marketed is indeed a scam. Now, a lot of people hear about YouTube automation or cash cow YouTube channels thanks to many Instagram pages that often showcase their earnings on their stories. Usually, these earnings are some crazy high numbers that are meant to lure people into purchasing their YouTube programs that promise you to teach them the secrets behind YouTube. And believe it or not, I actually purchased one of those courses for $500. And from my honest opinion, unless you're an absolute beginner in YouTube, I genuinely found these courses to be useless. On top of that, these courses don't actually tell you their secrets since they don't want to make competitors that may damage their current business. In this one YouTube course I purchased by Caleb Box, it was literally just a playlist of his free public YouTube videos. I essentially paid $500 for a YouTube playlist that I could have gone for free if I just took the time to look around. Now, I'm not saying that the people behind these courses have harmful intentions or are trying to scam you, but in my opinion, they fail to bring any significant value when it comes to learning how to do YouTube automation. And I'm going to give it to you straight. You're better off searching for free YouTube videos than purchasing these overpriced courses that offer little to no value. Not to mention that cash cow channels already take up a big budget to run, so purchasing a course would just set you back even farther. Next up, I want to bring up the point that YouTube automation is portrayed incorrectly. A lot of people underestimate the amount of work, but in reality, YouTube automation requires a lot more work and effort than most people think. While it is true that YouTube automation is indeed a form of passive income, that doesn't mean you don't have to do any work to get the ball rolling. I myself run my own network of channels, and I can tell you from personal experience that it's very stressful and requires a lot of patience that most of these gurus on Instagram fail to mention. You have to deal with people scamming you, people trying to leak private information, and people who just don't care about helping you and are only in it for themselves. However, that doesn't mean that forming a loyal team is impossible. It is, but it requires a lot of time and patience for you to develop those relationships. I often find myself working ridiculous hours just to keep everything on point, not to mention that I'm still in high school myself and I need to balance that. Lastly, I want to mention the major flaw with this form of income. I'm going to give it to you straight, and I'm not here to sell you anything, but YouTube automation is very unstable and could be ruined at any moment. Whether that be due to copyright strikes, community strikes, or repeating the same videos verbatim, you can lose your channel if you're not careful. Not to mention that you are obligated to pay your team, and when first starting off, you will most likely run your channels at a loss for a couple of months. Fun fact, only 10% of the videos you make will most likely bring profit. Not to mention, YouTube can deactivate your AdSense at any point if they feel necessary. These Instagram gurus also fail to mention that they have to pay their team, and they don't actually take all that money for themselves, but rather they take a small portion of it, considering taxes and of course paying their team. So in reality, their profit is not as high as you think. In short, YouTube automation is not a scam, and I have personally been able to do it for a couple months now. However, it's not as easy as you think, nor will an overpriced YouTube course magically transform your income. This is a very competitive industry that is currently growing, so stay safe and avoid any scams. That is all for me today. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one.